There are countries like Albania, Georgia, Malta has a citizenship by exception. Albania and Georgia are citizenship by exception / citizenship by merit. So yes, those countries have programs. There's at least a couple of good African nations where you have citizenship by exception. And there's several other countries where this potential exists. In Cambodia, you can get a citizenship by exception. So there are options. CBI citizenships are not the only ones. So far, it was okay. Everything was fine. You could purchase a CBI passport and no one noticed. But starting 2026, end of 2026, things are drastically changing. One of the big questions that I keep getting asked is, does having a CBI passport destroy my reputation, my global standing? I'm going to answer that question in this video. But before I get started, if you're new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe to this channel because this helps us grow and it helps me get you breaking news and on time. The moment there's any shift, any change, any new program, I promise you would be the first one to be notified. So please go ahead and turn on that subscription now. Does this destroy your reputation? So let's say you have an American passport or a Canadian or whichever other strong, solid Western passport. You normally did not need a CBI, but let's say you just, for plan B, backup security, whatever you want to call it, you purchased a CBI passport. Does that now backfire? The short answer, in my opinion, and none of this is legal immigration or tax advice, but in my opinion, I feel yes, it can destroy somewhat your reputation. It may destroy your reputation. I'm going to discuss the systems that are deployed in place, and it depends and it varies from country to country. And the person also manually reviewing your e-application. I'm going to explain all of this. What has happened? Why has this even come to light? It's come to light because of the ETA by the UK. It's like the ESTA by the US, right? So before, let's say you were an American or a Canadian or an Australian, any strong Western passport holder, you had a straightforward access to the UK. You packed your bags, you went to UK, you landed, you got easy entry, couple of questions, how are you, and kind of stuff, and you were good to go. The same thing happened in the EU, in the Schengen zone. If you had a good nationality or a powerful or strong nationality from one of these Western countries, you could easily step foot in EU and no one asked you too many questions, easy entry, everything was good and rosy. Now in 2026, end of 2026, the ETIAS is going to go live. So that's just like the ETA from the UK. The foundation or the reason behind these systems. First, let's understand the foundation and then let's discuss how your reputation could be destroyed. What are your options? I'm going to discuss specifically 4 or 5 citizenship by exception passports that you should closely consider, at least think about them. But before we get there, let's first discuss the ETA and the ETIAS. Now, what's the reason for these systems? Now, there's been a cat and mouse game between the Caribbean nations and the CBI citizenship countries. Let's not call them Caribbean. This is just slightly more than the Caribbean. You have other countries, some other countries, total of 10 roughly, approximately 10 countries that sell their passports to investors. And these Western countries absolutely hate the concept of a transactional naturalization where you pay the money, you do the donation, you don't have historic ties or connections or attachments to the country, you haven't really lived in the country long enough. Without these attachments, you simply do some donation, you pay some money and you get a passport. This is exactly what the West does not like. They want you to have connections. They want you to be a tax resident. They want you to contribute to their society and then they naturalize you. So when they see all these small nations with the visa-free access to their countries trying to sell you the passport, they absolutely hate it. And that's the cat and mouse game that the West has been playing with the CBI countries, issuing visa waiver terminations. And the biggest population that really got affected by all of this is the native born natural citizens. Whatever limited opportunity they had to travel to the West is taken away when this kind of thing happens. They haven't purchased their passport. Just because someone else is purchasing their passport from their country, they have nothing to do with it, but they lose the visa free access. And this was the biggest damage that these blanket restrictions or visa revocations or suspensions did to the native population. So there's a brilliant strategy that the UK and the EU has come up with, implement the e-visa approvals. So before, yes, you had a visa free, but now whatever you want to call it, I personally feel it's like an e-visa. It's just an electronic version of the normal visa. In the UK, you got to present your passport, apply online. Let's say you have an American passport. Normally, it's a 2-minute thing or a 5-minute thing. You get the approval and you're good to go. It is straightforward. It's still straightforward till we see what happens in future. But once you purchase a CBI passport, now what happens? Now, it's not about the American passport. It's not about the Canadian passport. They want to focus on what have you done, what have you purchased. You have purchased a passport. Now, they don't like this kind of stuff, remember? So in your mind, you think, and in the minds of the heads of the state that you've purchased this passport from, you guys think that this is all legal. We all think this is all legal. It is. But when it comes to these Western nations, they frown upon this. For them, it's sort of a gray area. They always said no to this kind of stuff, but still these smaller nations did not listen. They came up with their programs. They started selling these programs. Some cases of corruption, some 1 or 2 bad apples spoiled the entire lot, and all of that has happened. So now they are frustrated, they are fed up, and they've come up with this genius idea of evaluating the background data aggregation. So it's not about one citizenship, it's about what else you have, all the other citizenships. Do your other citizenship, can your other citizenships dilute the fact that you have a strong, solid passport? The short answer, in my opinion, is yes, it could. Now, what happens? Now, let's say there's a Canadian traveling. Strong passport should have an easy, straightforward ETIAS approval to the EU. Straightforward deal, straightforward transaction. Yes, it might happen. In a couple of seconds, you might get an approval saying, yes, good to go, no problems. But now let's say you add another passport. Let's say you got a CBI from Sao Tome and Principe or St. Lucia or any other country, right? So it could be any CBI program. The moment you select, yes, you have a second nationality in it, so and so. The question is, did you purchase this? Yes. Now, at this point, there could be a couple of scenarios that could trigger. One is it could trigger a manual review. Why did you purchase this? Are you a clean person? If you're a clean person, why would you want to purchase a passport like this, right? Now, in the past, some shady people have been able to purchase passports like that. They have misused these passports. The fact that you're also purchasing one of the same passports, what's wrong? So they might flag this for a manual review, and at that point there might be additional questions, there might be additional evaluations, there might be delays, etc. The second scenario is that, let's say the manual reviewer is not convinced, maybe they don't like the profile, they say nope, we don't want to give visitor visa. And it's very easy not to give a visitor visa for any reason. You might not like a certain country and you might get denied, right? They might say go back and apply for a normal paper visa at the embassy. The fact that you hold, let's say, a stronger passport may not matter at this point in time. You would then have to go and get a visa on your normal nationality, and this may make life tough for you. The second scenario over here is a banking situation where the bank, of course, is going to ask you for a list of your passports. The moment they detect a CBI passport, the fact that you have a strong nationality may not matter. The fact that you have purchased a passport might override, and you might damage your reputation with certain banks. So therefore, in 2026, a lot of people are avoiding the CBI passports like plague. Now, if you have one, you can't change it, right? Unless, let's say, you decide to renounce. Now, that renunciation would be an extreme step. But let's say you haven't yet purchased a CBI passport, but you want to have a backup option. The best strategy in 2026 is citizenship by merit or citizenship by exception, because they ask you limited set of documents, right? Limited required, legally required set of documents. They don't aggregate information. They don't ask you the entire world. They ask you sensible, normal, straightforward, legitimate documents and questions. They're not satisfying other countries. They're not supplying information to other countries. So your home country is not going to get a knock on their door asking, hey, someone has come from your country. Should we give him a citizenship? Nope. It's a private bond between you and the CBE, CBM country, citizenship by exception or citizenship by merit country. So that's a private bond, which is very valuable. It's stronger, it's sustainable, it's safer The main thing is the safety, because you're sharing limited amount of information. They're asking limited amount of information. It's a smooth and a straightforward, safe transaction. What are the countries that are safe? Now, if you're looking for a bang for the buck, if you're looking for something in budget, let's say you're looking at 100k pounds, something below 100k pounds, what are your options? There are a couple of great African countries that provide citizenship, that naturalize people under exceptional circumstances. They're not necessarily CBI programs, they're citizenship by exception programs or citizenship by merit programs, where the program is logically designed legally, right? So you're benefiting the country. Of course, it's monetary based, it has some value to it. They're seeing the value that you're creating for the country and then exceptionally naturalizing you. Their process is different from a typical CBI program. It's not a mass sale situation. It's a private and a legal agreement with the government. Of course, your documents should always be issued by the embassy or the consular office of that country. That's when you know you have support from the embassy. It's a legal, legitimate citizenship. So a couple of African nations, again, I don't want to name these countries, then it entirely defeats the purpose. We have a team that supports this. At any point in time you are interested in any of these citizenship by merit or exception programs, you can always click the link, book a call, we can have a quick chat and discuss which one best fits. What are the other CBE or CBM programs? The other CBE or CBM programs are from the country of Albania. Yes, Albania does a citizenship by exception program. This can be named because a few major players also deal with the citizenship, so it's not exclusive. There are a couple of players that can assist. There's Georgia citizenship by exception, there's Serbia citizenship by exception or citizenship by merit, and there's also Malta in the EU that has a citizenship by exception or citizenship by merit program. Again, not exclusive to one provider. You have multiple players. The main thing is check the credibility of the provider. Make sure you trust them, make sure they're genuine, make sure your documents are issued directly by the ministry of the country or at least the embassy or the consulate of the country. That's when you know your citizenship is genuine. What am I going to be extremely careful of? I'm going to be extremely careful with any of the EU countries trying to sell you a passport. Let's say you find a broker or an agent who says that I'm going to get you a citizenship from Romania or Slovakia or Kazakhstan for 15,000, 20,000 euros. Crap. Run away. Those are not legitimate programs. You might land yourself in deeper trouble, right? Getting the citizenship, using the passport may work once, but very soon you might get caught. There might be significant repercussions for you. So you got to be smart. You got to use your brains, because whoever is selling you this passport are at fault, but you are also at fault for using some of these shady or nonsensical passports. So stay away from all of that and stick to countries that are known for providing citizenship by exception or citizenship by merit. And as I said, at any point you have any confusion or have any questions, you can always reach us. We can have a quick chat and get you started with the right program. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.